Captain Paul here for TSP, and listen, this issue is going to be controversial, and I want it to be known. I am trying to come from a place of good faith. There is no hatred when I say this. But the ruling in Vermont regarding the high school Mid Vermont Christian is extremely troubling. Let's let the clips play.
The Vermont Principals Association responded to the recent news a high school is opting to forfeit a basketball playoff game rather than compete against a team with a transgender opponent.
Alright, so they decided to forfeit the game instead of facing a transgender girl on the other team. They felt the advantage was unfair. So a forfeit was the only thing that had to be done, correct?
On Monday, the Vermont High School Association made the decision to deem all sports at Mid Vermont Christian ineligible for any VPA-sanctioned activities or tournaments going forward.
So let me get this straight. You're essentially barring them from future events altogether. So instead of using your rational brain, you are going to rip away opportunities from these young girls due to one individual. Listen, let's just call a ball, a strike here. Transgender girls have a distinct physical advantage over biological females. And if you cannot acknowledge that, I do not know what to tell you. The science backs that up. Transgender women are far stronger than biological females because they did grow up being boys. That is not a hateful statement to say. I will be very clear by using this as an example. Leah Thomas proves that point. Thomas, when competing in the males division, was a mediocre collegiate swimmer, but when transferred over to the women's side, was in the top % in the nation. And if you cannot acknowledge that fact, I just do not know what to tell you. At the end of the day, Title IX was created to give young girls an opportunity to play on an even playing field. This is just not fair to these young women. Mind you, are they ever going to be professional athletes? Most likely not. But for them, this is their pro sport. This is the time they can play a sport they love and chase their dreams. And this is not a slight on anyone that's transitioning. I want to make that extremely clear. Live life how you want to live it, and if that makes you happy, I'm all for it. That being said, your happiness shouldn't come in front of other people. Transgender girls are robbing biological females of the opportunity to be successful in their sport, because there are certain sports, just due to the physical nature of it, transgender women are going to have a massive advantage in. I don't know the answer to this. There is not enough transgender women or transgender men to make their whole separate category, so that is kind of a moot point. I just truly believe they shouldn't be competing at a varsity level. It is unfair to those girls trying to make a team. Have them in intramural or co-ed squads, I'm fine with that. Make them feel included. But we are getting into a real crazy place if we are just not going to acknowledge the physical differences and the advantages in which they have, and it's just not fair. It's funny, right? Because when Title IX was made, it was to make sure discrimination against women was no longer held, and now, unfortunately, due to the culture that we are living in, young girls are getting a lot of opportunities robbed from them, and that's just not right. While it might not be a big deal to you, these girls grew up playing these sports most likely their whole life. So to have their spot, their position robbed from them from a biological male, they have every right to feel upset. And to be very blunt, I do not blame Mid Vermont Christian for not playing. It just is an unfair advantage. I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are down below. Do you believe that Mid Vermont Christian should be barred from events going forward? Or do you think that was a massive overreach? I'm Captain Paul for TSP. We bring a lot of hot takes and cold truths. I'll see you in the next video.